Friday. Just thought I'd let this thing roll to see what magic happens. Yesterday I found out something interesting, Holland. I'm a fan of the cashew nut.
Didn't we already know that?
That's not what I found out yesterday.
Okay.
I'm giving some backstory here for our audience.
Got it. Okay.
I like the cashew.
Yeah.
I was at work, just innocently editing some video, doing some stuff, minding my own biz, and cashews came up in conversation. And 20-year-old Alex mentioned something. He says, well, they're not really a nut. And I did a double take. That? Because he's 20. I'm twice his age. I could be his dad by a large margin.
That's weird.
Yeah. But I realized in that moment that I had no idea where cashew nuts came from.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, right? I mean, I have done the research on peanuts. I've done the research on almonds. Walnuts. I know where walnuts come from. Coconut. Everybody knows that coconuts are not a nut. In fact, I think that's where it came from, is because we were talking about how Brandon, the other guy that I work with, how his son is allergic to a lot of nuts, but not coconut.
Right.
And Brandon's like, well, it makes sense because coconuts aren't really nuts.
Right.
And Alex was like, well, cashews aren't really nuts either.
So where do they come from?
Okay, so
No more backstory. Keep going.
there is a cashew fruit. It's like a weird shaped sort of apple. And the cashew nut grows on the bottom.
What?
Yes. That's what I said.
That's hogwash.
No, it's not
Yes.
hogwash.
It sounds like hogwash.
That's what I thought too. I thought, nah, that can't be right. A cashew fruit? I would have heard more about this cashew fruit if that were the case. But I did a Google search. And
And it's a thing?
it's a thing.
Why have I never heard of this cashew fruit?
I don't know. Is there a conspiracy to like
Wait.
maybe tomorrow we'll all forget about it
Is
because
it
they
called-
continually wipe your memory.
Is it called a cashew fruit?
I think there's another name for it. You know, that they use in whatever language
That it's from.
the country that it's from speaks natively. I don't know. But you can cook it, saute it up, and from what I understand, it's almost like an apple a little bit.
Does it look like an apple?
It looks like it has the shape almost of a skinny bell pepper.
Huh. That's a lot of cashew fruits to get the amount of cashews.
I know.
that
I'm
they have.
hoping that they don't just harvest the cashew nuts
And throw out the
and
cashew
throw out the
fruit.
fruit if the fruit is edible. Now, if the fruit is poison, I understand. You don't want to be consuming that.
Right. So what does that make this cashew? Does it grow cashew fruit? Does the cashew nut grow cashew fruit? Is it like a seed?
I don't know. Apparently there are more things that I need to research about cashews. I don't know if it's like a cashew tree will just drop a bunch of cashews every season and then start to regrow. And then I didn't get this far into it, honestly, because I got distracted by something else, as I'm wont to do. I don't even know what country most of the cashews in the world are produced in.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like, oh, hey, Southern California is like the hotbed of cashews, or if it's like, you know what, Ecuador is where cashews are at,
Right.
or, you know,
Yeah.
any number of places.
Yeah. Interesting.
right? Then I had to double check my peanut knowledge. Make sure I knew where peanuts came from. Luckily I do. Almonds are grown in Southern California. Central California. It's like the breadbasket of California. There's a ton of them grown there. And they come from almond trees. Walnuts come from a walnut tree. I mean, a lot of that stuff is
Common knowledge.
Chestnuts
Do not come from a chestnut tree.
are not actual nuts.
They're not?
I think it's chestnuts. It might be chestnuts, but I think it's chestnuts.
Chestnuts.
Man, my nut knowledge is severely lacking. We had a chestnut tree in Omanopa's
Yeah.
pool house, right?
Could those have been edible?
Yes, I think if you prep those correctly, those would have been edible.
The ones in the pokey, covering?
Yeah, they come from. They have that pokey shell on the outside.
Yeah.
Remember that year that you guys helped clean that tree up and you guys collected
money.
a ton of money?
I don't think Opa ever actually paid us for that.
He did.
He did? I don't remember that.
I remember he did.
How much was it? It wasn't that much, right?
You guys wanted to do it again the next year, and he was like, "Well, you broke the bank last year. I'm not doing it again." I think that's what you're remembering.
But it was 50 cents per nut. It was not that much.
There was 2,000 nuts that fell off that tree.
Then we would have made $1,000. We didn't pay $1,000.
No, you didn't. It was. I think it was 10 cents is what he was paying, and it might not have been 2,000, but it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
For your young minds at that time. You know what else is nuts?
Ha ha, Dad. Ha ha.
There are a surprising number of puns that go along with food.
Great. No, there's not. It's not surprising. There's tons and tons of different foods.
You're right, it's not surprising. Let's narrow it down to nuts. There are a lot of puns that go along with nuts. Now, here's the challenge. To make a good nut pun that is clean and not embarrassing to tell your grandmother. That is the challenge. Because, let's be honest, when it comes to nut puns, there's a lot of low-hanging cashew fruit.
That wasn't funny.
I wasn't trying to be funny. I'm just saying.
Funny.
There's a lot of low-hanging cashew fruit. I imagine. I guess I gotta do more research. But when it comes to puns, there's a lot out there. Again, you gotta keep it clean though, alright?
Yep, it's a rough world.
I wonder if the guy that goes out and harvests cashew fruits, cashew nuts. I wonder if he comes home from work and his wife asks him, "What have you been up to?" He says, "Nuttin', honey. Nuttin'. Been out nuttin', honey. Nuttin'." That's a good one.
If you say so.
I got more research to do, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
About nuts.